Situations made a man of me. That is expected. I'm exactly who I plan to be. I looked my mama in the eyes and told her we gon' make it. I go anyway.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the L.U.V. podcast. You have your host here, Love Jones.
And it's your boy Drake.
And today, man, we got a very special guest, man. We got Julian Walters. How you doing, bro?
Good, man. Good. Pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir, man. We're glad to have you on, bro.
I know we've been talking about this for a while. I'm glad to be on. I've been seeing the podcast, bro. I'm glad we was able to connect, man. Keep doing your thing, too. I mess with it the hard way.
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, we try to get you on, bro, but glad we finally got you on, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I know for the viewers at home, man, I met Julian. He was on the 2018-2019 Central basketball team, and that's where we met. I was the manager of the basketball team. You know what I mean? I got some ice to show for it. So people think
champ.
I ain't no champ, you feel me? Yeah. I got the ice. Shout out to McNeese State. Yes, sir. The manager be going crazy on there. I feel the same way.
Hey, let him know, Mike, you would have been viral too before him.
That's what I'm saying. If Mogul would have let me rock out a little bit more, I would have had y'all lit for sure.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, talk about how it was. We're gonna take it way back, like growing up in Madison, because we're from North Carolina, born and raised from Eastern North Carolina. So we don't know a lot. Well, I can speak for myself. I don't know a lot about Wisconsin at all.
Yeah.
So how was it growing up?
Yeah, man. You know, the funny thing is it's like anywhere else. You know, it's home until you go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So my experience there, you know, we grew up probably a lot similar. Grew up in the black neighborhoods, poverty areas, all of that. But the funny thing is when you get out and you start seeing other parts of the world, you realize how, you know, white it was. So Madison was really white. Like I thought it was normal to have white teachers, you know, white doctors, white everything, you know what I'm saying? And I had a lot of white classmates, but where we lived was where all the black people live. So, you know, like that was my upbringing, playing outside, you know what I'm saying, hooping, summer days, all types of stuff. And so it was fun, you know, it was fun going skating, doing all the stuff that, you know, people really do in our culture. And it was cool. And the part of it that was interesting was when I started traveling for school with hoops and all of that, I realized like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't used to this, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when I went to North Carolina, I loved it, you know what I'm saying? It was slower, you know, the Midwest a bit faster in terms of the tempo, the city, the people, how they act, but that Southern hospitality, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Everything black, you know, you seeing black realtors and black professionals and things like that. It's like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was dope because in Madison, the only people who get money is doing things that's not really professional. So it's like, to see that, and the people who are doing professional things, they are white, bro. So you never see yourself in what you're trying to become. You know what I'm saying? You never see what you want to be. It's like all negative, you know what I'm saying? And that's the stuff that people gravitate towards because it's fun, you know, it's flashy. And so getting out of there and just seeing something different, bro, was great. You know, I got big love for my city. It's a lot of good things going on there now, and it's a lot of momentum. And we'll get into that, I'm sure, later on in the pod. But growing up there, bro, I really don't have no complaints. It's a special place. It's real unique. It's the greatest. They rank it the best place, the best city, one of the best cities to live in the country. But then on the other side, it's also ranked like top 5 worst places for black people to live in the country. So the wealth gap is real different in my city, and you can see it when you're driving through it.
So yeah, that's kind of, I want to say, like Eastern North Carolina. Well, I'm gonna speak for like Nashville, Rocky Mount. That's kind of how it was. You know, it was like a article maybe like 10 years ago that was saying like Rocky Mount was one of the most dangerous places to live in. And at Central, you know, I'm telling people in Durham, of all places, I'm from Rocky Mount, they expect me to act a certain way when Durham has the same reputation.
Yeah.
And so, but you know, I I definitely understand how that is, bro. And I know you said it was a little bit faster pace. Is that because you was more so in the city,
Yeah.
or okay,
So yeah, so it's a little bit bigger. It's a city. So um you got a couple big Fortune 500 companies there. You got the University of Wisconsin, they're like the Badgers there. It's the
okay,
capital city of the state, and so the pace is just a little bit faster. Um, I currently live in Chicago, so I didn't kind of been all over. You know what I'm saying? But it's
yeah,
nowhere near the pace of Chicago, but it's faster than like a Durham, a Raleigh Durham area. So it's like right there, kind of in between like a big metro city and a smaller kind of city. But it's
okay.
that was kind of the biggest difference. I'm like, things kind of people ain't, you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't go out here. I like
So we're gonna get to basketball, bro. We see the basketball jersey in the background. So I met you, of course, on the basketball team. So like, how was your high school experience, bro? Like, did you get a lot of offers to play ball?
Bro, I was just talking about this the other day. My high school experience was crazy. I didn't get a lot of offers. I didn't have no offers coming out of high school. The jersey you
Sure.
see right here, that's actually where I turned up at. That's my junior college. I ended up being
Okay,
first team All American. We went to the Nationals, Player of the Year, Region Player of the Year. So I went there with no offers. After I left after my second year, I had probably like 15, 20 mid-major offers. But
for sure.
before we get into that, high school was crazy because I was wild. Like I was wild. All I wanted to do was have fun. Like I played for a
Yeah.
powerhouse though. So like to put in
Okay,
perspective, we went to state every year. We had won state like 3 out of the last 5 years while I was before I got to high school. We ended up winning a gold ball my sophomore year of high school, but it was a time. You know what I'm saying? My freshman year I made JV. My sophomore year I started on JV, and then they moved me up to varsity after 2 years. I mean 2 games, and that was the year that we won state.
to basketball, bro. We see the basketball jersey in the background. So I met you, of course, on the basketball team. So like, how was your high school experience, bro? Like, did you get a lot of offers to play ball?
Bro, I was just talking about this the other day. My high school experience was crazy. I didn't get a lot of offers. I didn't have no offers coming out of high school. The jersey you
Sure.
see right here, that's actually where I turned up at. That's my junior college. I ended up being
Okay,
first team All American. We went to the Nationals, Player of the Year, Region Player of the Year. So I went there with no offers. After I left after my second year, I had probably like 15, 20 mid-major offers. But
for sure.
before we get into that, high school was crazy because I was wild. Like I was wild. All I wanted to do was have fun. Like I played for a
Yeah.
powerhouse though. So like to put in
Okay.
perspective, we went to state every year. We had won state like 3 out of the last 5 years while I was before I got to high school. We ended up winning a gold ball my sophomore year of high school, but it was a time. You know what I'm saying? My freshman year I made JV. My sophomore year I started on JV, and then they moved me up to varsity after 2 years. I mean 2 games, and that was the year that we won state. Bro, I got moved up. I got suspended for the whole season. I got caught drinking, doing all of that stuff, wilding. I ain't had no guidance. It was just my mom and things like that. So off the court, I was just getting into whatever, just trying to figure out my way. You know, when you that young, you think you a man and you trying to handle stuff on your own. So I got suspended and we end up winning a gold ball. So that hurt. I had to watch my guys do that. Junior year,
Yeah.
junior year, uh, obviously made varsity again. The coaches told me, they didn't want to put me on a team, but they saw my behavior change and all that. End up getting suspended that year for fighting. Got suspended a couple
Man.
games, things like that. But then my senior year, going into my senior year summer, I put it all together, man. I'm like, all right, I need to, lock in. I need to see what my future about. I want to hoop in college, yada yada yada. And so senior year was cool, all conference, all area. Had a great year, but it wasn't enough. And I prefaced that with, I prefaced that backstory with that's why I ain't had no offers. You know what I'm saying? Like I had the talent. I just wasn't focused on ball. I was worried about other things. Um, I had a mom doing the best she could and she was doing great. I guess the term would be rebellious. I was kind of like trying to find my way on my own. I wasn't trying to listen, but all of that kind of played into, me not being recruited. I didn't play AAU for like most of my high school summers. I wasn't on the court when I moved up to varsity. And so I really only had 1 year, bro. I had 2 years. I was good as a freshman. on JV, and then my senior year. But everything in between, bro, was just like a Hail Mary. I was on the roster, but you don't know if you was gonna see me or not on suited up.
For sure.
That's very important. Like, I think a lot of kids these days need to hear that because there's a lot of things that you need to do off the court to make sure that you can even do anything on the court, like where you are in high school and going forward in college. And I see a lot of people, especially like where we're from, that really got the talent. Like they got the talent, they can go pretty much anywhere. They just don't
Yeah.
have that structure and that foundation to like put it all together to make sure that they can get to the next level.
Right in the target. And like it was crazy because, bro, when I was from my high school, from I was a freshman to my senior year, bro. If I tell you the locker room, because JV and varsity share the locker room, if I tell, like when I say powerhouse, we had people go to the league in football and basketball. We had somebody going D1 every year. So like I knew that we had, you know what I'm saying, the Badger coach coming to the open gym, recruiting people who seniors and juniors. So like you could see your future, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like one person go D1 every 5 years, or you got to really, like you could see your future right ahead of you if you locked in. And I just wasn't locked in, and you hit it. You made a great point, Trey, and that's why when I go back and talk to schools, I'm like, look, man, I ain't here to preach to y'all. Like, if you don't want to listen, I understand, because I was the kid who didn't listen, and it ain't, and I don't think that you can't win because I won, but your life and your route gonna be harder. You know what I'm saying? Like I ended up going to 3 colleges. I had to go to junior college. I transferred. You know what I'm saying? And all of that. I feel like was kind of collateral from the decisions and the route I had to take because of what I did when I was a kid in high school. Now, I was able to get together when a lot of people will fall off just because of the love of the game and fight through a lot of trials and tribulations. But I brought that on myself, and it clicked eventually. Eventually I'm like, all right, cool, stop playing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you see what's around here. Ain't nobody moving around. I go back home now, and it's still the same people talking about what they could have been and what they could have done, and I didn't want to be that.
Right.
Yeah, man. That's a story that's around the United States, bro. Like people who could have been good enough to take it to the next level, but hardships or being rebellious, they never got it together. And I worked with somebody like that. He's like, man, I ran a 4.3 in high school. I'm like, all right.
That's what I be talking about. Hey, that's literally be my response. Man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a bit older than you, so it's like when I hear this, like, bro, you can't still be talking about this, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was working fast food, and he was telling me what he used to do. So I'm like, okay, like you feel me? I can't run no 4.3, but hey, congrats, you feel me? But but I know you mentioned junior college, and so did you get more? I know you said you had a lot of mid-major offers. So what made you choose? What was it? Eastern Tennessee?
Yeah, I went to ETSU
Yeah.
initially. Um,
Okay.
I went to ETSU initially because I knew that was gonna be a mid-major that was like we was not gonna be no mid-major talented squad. Funny enough, y'all North Carolina boys, the head coach at Wake Forest right now, today, that was the coach at ETSU. So Steve,
Oh,
so he
okay.
was a coach, like he was a good coach, and he had came from being an assistant at Tennessee. And so when he got that job, uh, he had just left. He was once an assistant at Tennessee, but then he had just came from Wichita State. And so I'm like, I got a lot of mid-major offers, but this the one where I'm like, we could make a run in the tournament. Like this ain't just like no, all right, we make the tournament and get blew out. It's like no, like we had 2 Indiana transfers, we had a Wichita State transfer, we had all types of JUCO All-Americans, so we had an older team, and I'm like, it's all types of bouncy people, all types of talent, and it's like, you know what I'm saying, like it's all types of pros. It's like 3 people still playing pro today from that team, like 10-year careers, and like that's hard overseas to continue to, but that just goes to
Yeah.
speak about the talent. And that's kind of what did it for me. I'm like, I don't want to just get there. hindsight, I think I would have chose another school because I would have had more individual success. It probably would have helped my career a little bit more. But I'm like, yo, I want to win. I'm a winner. Like I won in high
Yeah.
school. I won in junior college. I won. So I'm like, I want to win. And sure enough,
Yeah.
I ended up leaving, but they won. They went to the tourney, barely lost to Florida, had like a 27 win season. Like everything that I went there for, they end up doing. They just end up doing it without me. But again, being rebellious, we'll get into that too. But the first time I
Yeah.
transferred was because got into some crap at school. I'm out there kicking it and got into
Yeah.
it. After that, I'm like, man, coach wasn't rocking with me no more.
For sure.
That's
Damn.
how it be though. Like that's how it be. It
Yeah.
take that one time for something to get like really taken away from you. Like when you in high school, you feel like you got your whole life in front of you. So when something
Facts.
gets taken away from you, you really don't feel that. But when you start getting closer to what you feel like your end date is or your
Yeah.
expiration date is, and you get something
Yeah.
taken away from you, you like, oh no, like it's either now or never.
Yeah.
So either I tighten up now or I'm never gonna make my goals.
Facts, bro. And that, like when I
Yeah.
had went home, because I ended up leaving that semester, so I was at the crib the whole spring semester, and I'm watching them on TV, the confetti dropping, them doing the whole selection Sunday. I'm like, I'm texting them. I'm still in the group chat with them. I'm at the crib, bro. Back home, the same people who ain't know nothing, people happy to see me because they happy that I ain't excelling no more. And it's like, it was that. That was like bro. Honestly, that was the last time I bumped my head. Like since then, it's been a slow grind uphill. But like you said, Drake, it was like I'm like this for to come to a close.
Yeah.
Like I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
So dealing with some of your I want to say off the court issues, or was it on the court or off the court?
It was definitely off. It was
Okay.
all off.
So what made you lock in? Because you said you had to transfer again.
Uh,
So like, what made you, I guess, kind of change your attitude?
Nobody, like, bro. When I was at the crib, one, I didn't know if I was gonna get my year back, which I ended up getting back. That's how I ended up at Central as a grad transfer.
For
But what
sure.
happened was, I'm at the crib, bro, and I'm once this All American. I want like a year, just a year before, not even a whole year before that. I'm top
Yeah.
10 in the country. I'm All
Mm.
American. I'm everything, and then like sitting at the crib and nobody wanted me. That was gut wrenching. That was a tough pill to swallow. I'm like, nobody wanted me. And then
Yeah.
Alabama A&M came like like in the SWAC, and they was like we had a terrible year before I came to Central, but they was like they had a terrible year before I got there, and they was the only school who wanted me. And I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? This is God telling me something. Like this God humbling me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm grateful for this opportunity. I didn't know if I was ever gonna hoop again in college, but here I am. I got another chance to go to the Division I level where I always wanted to be. I got a new opportunity, a fresh start, and that's what it was, bro. And since then, it was like it clicked because I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna be my last year. I don't know if I'm gonna get another year, but whatever it is, we gonna make the most of it. And I'm gonna stop letting my people down, my family down. Like I'm getting all these chances, and I keep messing them up. And I'm not about to let that be the end of this story.
Yeah. Definitely, bro. And sometimes it takes that humbling, like when you're not listening to those around you, like it takes that humbling. And unfortunately you got another chance. And I'm glad you was able to figure that out before it went really bad.
Right.
So I'm glad you got that chance. Cause I I definitely gotta talk about your senior year though. Who you got the Central.
Yeah.
Because shout out to Ramon. I shout him out a lot on the podcast, but Ramon, my roommate.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Ramon's my roommate. So he was already the manager of the basketball team the year before.
Mhm.
So if y'all don't see, this a three-peat.
Yeah.
So I was there on the third one.
Facts.
Ramon got 2 rings, so he was there for the second and third. So he was telling me all about how it was being a manager. I'm like, I can do that. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah.
That sounds cool, and I love basketball. So, and I know how historic Coach Moten is, and bro, it was an incredible experience, bro. But before I jump into the season, how was that recruitment to Central?
Yeah, bro. It was really fast. It was really unlikely too. I didn't even take a visit to Central. So we in the year. I have a solid number. We sucked.
Hmm.
Probably won like literally like the worst team in college basketball maybe. And I entered the portal and I had some schools reach out because they knew I was a good player in a not a bad program but a development program, a rebuilding program. And
Yeah,
I had Robert Morris reach out. I had Middle Tennessee State reach out. Um, I had UAB reach out. But I also had E-Dub, bro, like Eric Wilson. He was the assistant at the time. Called him Coach
yeah,
Dub. And the
yeah,
funny thing is, this how God worked. When I was
yeah,
the JUCO All American, all of that stuff, since you have recruited me then, I
yeah,
wouldn't say I blew them off, but what I'm saying, I'm like, I ain't going to those Central. Like I got to like I'm getting you got to understand. I had mid-major offers. I had all these offers,
yeah,
but like I'm getting calls from Auburn. I got Washington. I got Missouri. Like I got all these. I'm like, y'all could have got me back in high school. It was an ego thing. I'm like, y'all ain't want me in high school. I
yeah,
blew up like Mike Jones. Now I'm hot there y'all alone. I don't want y'all now. But
yeah.
in
That's
that
fact.
moment though, look, now life come 180.
Yeah,
I'm in Huntsville, Alabama. You know what I'm saying? It's the spring. I'm seeing people getting offers. I'm seeing grad transfer committing and all of this. All them schools calling, but they ain't offered. Dub called me like, yeah, we got a point guard leaving. We got a spot. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of people returning, but we got some red shirts getting activated. We like you. You know what I'm saying? We got a scholarship for you. And ain't going to be no guarantees, but Coach Moden, a coach who like to coach uh, people who work hard, so everybody got to earn it. I'm like,
yeah,
man, I'm always bet on myself, so let's do it. So I signed,
yeah.
bro. I signed my scholarship. I signed my letter of intent in the athletic department in Huntsville because I had to finish. That was the other thing that kind of messed up my recruitment. I didn't finish in May. I had to take summer class because the rule with grad transfer is you got to graduate from your previous school. I didn't
Oh,
finish in May. I still had like 8 credits left, so I had to stay in Huntsville through July. And a lot of coaches who was
oh,
calling when I was telling them that they was like, yeah, we don't want to wait. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to wait and see if you graduate. There's people on the board right now who graduated in May. We can offer them and they could be here in the summer working out.
yeah,
So none of them offered me. And Dub and Central waited. You know what I'm saying? Like I got to like June or whatever, sent them my transfer. They like, all right, he gonna graduate. He gonna graduate in July, like he said. And I signed with him. I signed. I ain't come to campus. I talked to Coach Moden a couple of times on the phone. Talked to Coach Sharp. Talked to Coach Wilson. I'm like, I
yeah,
talked to Luke, and I'm like,
yeah,
man, I'm gonna do it. And so it's funny because even now I end up walking in December in the middle of our season, and I caught the flight to Appalachian State. But if you look at my degree right now, a lot of people don't notice. It say July 31st, 2018. And so that's how it happened. And then it was a great decision. It was a great decision. But it was my only decision too. And that's just how
yeah.
God worked.
Nah, that's amazing, bro. Did you have some Drake about going into the season?
Nah, 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 nah.
For sure.
Dang, that's so great. That I ain't gonna lie, yo. That's a great story though. Like
That's a great
to
story, bro.
to have somebody who clearly could just be like, nah, we got somebody else on the board to give you a chance, bro. That's nothing but God given, bro. Like that's nothing but
Yeah.
God given.
Favor, bro. Because
Well,
if they wouldn't have came through with that offer, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what would have happened. And I don't want to know. But
yeah,
it was like they came through, and I'm like, cool. Because when you down there, I'm working out at the facilities, but it's kind of weird because they know I'm leaving and stuff, so I ain't working out with the team. I'm coming in after they work out. It was just kind of like bad energy and stuff, and so I had a lot of anxiety. I'm like, man, y'all supposed, what I'm saying, like I ain't knocking y'all. I want the best for y'all, but y'all supposed to, what I'm saying, y'all. We had all these sanctions through on us because grades, so they couldn't make the postseason or nothing. I'm like, you couldn't be mad that I'm about to go into a better situation, but when they announced
right.
it on all the blogs and stuff, Alabama A&M point guard committed to NCCU and all of that, like they felt that, but the city was happy. All my people's back home was like, yeah, because we had already knew about Moten, we had already knew about Central, like what they had. They like, yeah, this where Drew belong. Like this more his speed. You feel me?
For sure. Man, I was gonna say, bro, that year was a great year because I just to me, I never played high school. I ain't played organized ball, so I never been behind the scenes of seeing how everything works.
Mhm.
And so, I didn't know how much student athletes have to go through until I was on the team. And
Mhm.
I'm like, y'all have to tailor your classes specifically towards practices, and y'all have multiple practices. Well, y'all have lifts, film, and then you have regular practice. And you
Plenty
know,
commitments, a lot of commitments
yeah,
throughout the day. Yeah.
yeah. And so I was like, seeing that, I didn't know. Like, I just thought y'all had practice, and then that was it. Nah, it was a
Yeah.
lot more. And so, man, but that was a great group of guys, bro. You had Big Sean, you had Hurt, you, Ty, um, we had I I can't. Oh,
Larry, Z,
Jabri, yeah,
Jabri.
Larry,
Yes.
man,
Yeah.
great group of guys. So. How do you feel like, well, what did y'all have like an idea that y'all was gonna win the MEAC again? Or because I know that was a championship
Yeah.
field
This,
roster.
the thing
Yeah,
about we always used to joke and say like NCCU is like last chance you or whatever because we knew we had the talent. Everybody on that team had transferred or had experience or played at like a higher level, at a higher like
yeah,
in a higher conference or something like Big Sean came from Kent State, Jabri came from
yeah,
Cleveland State, Z came from Northwoods. I was at ETSU.
yeah,
Rashawn came from Drexel. So like uh Larry had came from Wofford. So you had all these people who had prior stops that didn't go to what they wanted, but their talent was there. And so
yeah,
we looking in
definitely.
the locker room, they had already repeated, and they like we lit in the locker room like it's gonna be hard to three-peat, but like we looking at the talent, we like we got it. It's just putting it all together. And one thing that people don't understand, one thing that's beautiful about Central is you get all these guys and these transfers and stuff, and it's still the roster's still built that way today. The thing that Coach Mogul does is put it all together. Like you can have all the talent in the world, but it's hard to put it all together, and it's hard to put it all together for 1 year because a lot of us
Yeah,
only have one. Like me and another Rod Taylor, he transferred from
yeah. Shout out Rob.
Louisiana Monroe. So like you got all these players from higher Sun Belt conference, other conferences, and we now in the MEAC, and it's like, how do you put this talent together? How do you find roles so that it's the best for the team? And once we found like we didn't find that until the tournament time. But when we found it, it was like we rolled off in Norfolk.
Yeah, show, bro. Because even seeing like CJ in practice, I'm
Yeah.
like, bro. Like y'all don't even know
He
what
was
they got in
coming
store
next.
next year. Like, bro,
DJ from Wichita State, you know what I'm saying? Like you
yeah,
Ty from St. Louis, like University of St.
yeah,
Louis. So we got red shirts who finna like even more talented than the people who on the roster right now. It's like
yeah,
that talent and being in that environment. It reminded me of ETSU again because everybody could play, and even the people who didn't transfer in, who we recruited, they was good. Perk, Red, you had some guys who had came in from high school and it was like they could hoop too. So it was like
yeah.
it was competitive every day. It's like we ain't got no scrubs on this roster. You know what I'm saying? You got
Nah,
players who can ball.
for sure. And man, three-peat and y'all got it done, bro. And that's it was amazing to be a part of that. Like I said, I remember at one time it had snowed, and I'm thinking, man, it's like coach about to cancel practice. Nah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
nope. And it was and, managers got to be there before y'all, the players, and because we got to set up everything. So I was like, man, it's like 3, 4 in the morning. I done stood. I probably got like an hour or two of sleep. And I'm thinking, man, he about to cancel it. It's everything else is canceled on
School canceled, everything canceled, man.
practice in the morning, bro. I was like, man, that was one of my that was one of the memories that I tell everybody, bro, because I'm like, man, that shows dedication though. That y'all nobody was late. Y'all came, y'all did the work. But it takes sacrifices to win. And
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 mind you,
so
the coach don't stay on campus. So he
no,
gotta go out his way too
yeah,
to get to practice. So he
exactly.
want it just as much as y'all want it.
Yeah. For sure, bro. Great coach, bro. Coach Moten is a great coach.
Great coach.
And so,
Bro, that man is such a great coach. He got a mural in Raleigh. He ain't
Oh
even in
God.
Raleigh.
Yeah. 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 You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, Coach Mo, you know how in college basketball you see coaches win and they go up to like a bigger school or something like that, or like it don't even make sense for him to leave because he just like the president of that area. Like he can go
yeah,
anywhere in
Swear.
like he more famous than North Carolina State coach. Like
yeah, for sure.
like you
Yeah,
they know him around there. Like they know him in the RDU. He like
Yeah.
so it's like I wouldn't even like what you gonna leave?
Yeah.
Like he do whatever they give him what he need at Central so he can recruit and he
Yep.
can and you know they redid the locker room and all
yeah,
like
they did. Man, locker room is amazing now because I mean it
man,
was good.
yeah,
It was good. Y'all was there, but I'm like, man, it looked crazy now.
man, what?
So, but yeah, I went out. If I was, I would never leave because like, bro, they
Definitely a
do
staple
right
in the
by him.
community, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he the franchise. He's Central basketball, bro.
Literally.
When you think Central basketball, you think of
Yeah.
Coach Moten,
And he
bro.
took off I think last year he he surpassed the win total for the most wins ever for a coach there. So like he stamped.
Yo, yeah, man, forever a legend, bro. Like I heard about Coach Moten um before I even took a visit to Central, bro. I knew about
Mo,
Coach
yeah.
Moten and the basketball team, bro. Like, and I'm not from Raleigh, but I went to school in Raleigh,
Mhm.
like my senior year, a little bit of my junior year. So I heard about Moten. I heard about cause I went to Garner High School. I graduated from Garner High School. So John Wall played there. They got another historic coach, Coach Gray. Um, he played there, but he transferred schools after that. Um, and they connected. You hear about John? That was my favorite player besides Kobe growing
Yeah.
up. So I'm like, man, this is crazy, but
Yeah.
a lot
Coach
of
Mo,
legend.
this was the coldest Coach Mo moment. He definitely he could be an asshole too, but
He
that's
tough.
the coaching. But
Yeah, he
coldest
tough.
moment. This is I don't remember a lot, but I remember this. We
Yeah,
down uh in the championship game. We down in
yeah,
the championship. I think we was down by like we was down double digits at half, but it's the start of the second half. Something they think they started like scored 2 buckets. He called a timeout. He like we down like 12 or 14. He in the huddle like everybody calm down. We gonna win this game. He like just calm down. We gonna win this game. This the MEAC championship. We playing Norfolk State in Norfolk. It's basically a home game for them. He like we gonna
yeah,
win. Calm down. We all looking around like yeah, say less. Let's do it. Went on a
yeah,
run, started coming back. It was like I'm like that separates a good coach from a great coach because a good coach gonna be drawing X and O's and stuff. He ain't even called no play. He just was like everybody calm. Like he was just spoke to the players. We already knew we already knew what we was gonna do because we've been running the same offensive set, defensive sets the whole year. But he like yo, when he called that timeout and just spoke to us and just like gathered our morale and he knew the time to do it. I'm like.
yeah,
That's a great coach right there.
Yeah, for sure.
bro. That's amazing, bro. Cause that's what you were saying. It separates a good from a great coach, bro. Like, and I seen how tough he was. 'Cause I won't go. I can't speak on the practices and stuff. 'Cause, hey, but you know what I'm saying, like. But that's all I knew. That's all I ever seen. So I was like, oh, I guess this is what greatness is then.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, boy, I couldn't even imagine having to do some of the stuff y'all had to. It's real. But yeah, because we had Pat Cole up here a couple times and he was just explaining the difference between the programs that he's went to and Coach Moten, like how he bred life into them, spoke life into them and made them believe in themselves. You know what I mean? So that's what's up, bro. And you know, leaving Central, but before we talk about that, what was your major in college?
My major was in marketing, and then when I went to Central, it was public administration. So I was getting my MPA.
Okay.
Couldn't get a chance to finish it there because my year had ran out, and I was thinking about taking some online stuff, but it was hard to find scholarship money after I left. But I was marketing undergrad, and I was public administration while I was at Central.
For sure. So I know now when you left Central, you started. Did you immediately start the block parties that you was throwing in your
Yeah.
hometown?
No, so I had a little journey. So after I left Central, I went overseas for like a couple months before COVID. So it was 2019, and then Europe started getting outbreaks of COVID and stuff, and they stopped paying players
Mm.
and stuff like that. So I ended up leaving like December, and
Yeah,
that was it. I left thinking I was gonna come back when everything cleared up and my agent got things right. And to Drake point, you never really know when that end is. And I left, bro. I never
yeah,
ended up playing professional basketball again. But I had went to Albania and I was playing in Finland when I left. That was my second country, my second stop. And I was, that was that. So I go back
yeah,
home. Now it's the top of 2020. I'm working out. I'm staying in shape or whatever. It come back to USA. Now, we hearing outbreaks and things like that. But when the NBA shut down and they shut down March Madness, that was over with. And so the
yeah,
whole 2020 year, I'm in the crib, I'm talking to Mo, and I'm just talking to people, mentors. I'm talking to my mom, my family. Like, I don't know what's next, but I had always had an interest in real estate. And so during that time, I got my realtor's license and things like that. But to answer your question, once I pivoted and started, working in real estate and things like that, and I start finding a passion for something else, because this was the first, you got to think, bro, one thing we don't talk about enough is the identity of a basketball player. Like,
yeah,
if you've been a hooper your whole life, you get love for being a hooper. You're known for being a hooper, and you just, that's who you believe you are, and that's all you have to offer. And so when it shut down for the world, and I didn't know what was next, it was the first time I had to look at myself like, dang, bro, what else do who else are you? How else can you, if this don't ever shake back, how you gonna get money? How you gonna survive out here? And I found real estate, bro, and that's honestly the only thing I can ever say that like I love close to or just as much as basketball. And I found like my niche in it too. But I ended up going to that. And even when I had offers to go back overseas when the world opened back up, I'm like, no, I'm buying properties now. I got a good flow here. Like it's consistent. I don't got to worry about getting cut. I don't got to worry about, people underpaying me and all of this stuff. Cause it's hard once you're trying to build your overseas profile, especially when you come from a conference like where we come from. Like if you ain't like a power five dude, you make money, but it's hard. You know what I'm saying? You make a little bit of money. Every year you trying to make more money. And I'm like, man, I'm tired of people telling me how much I'm worth. I'm finna go get it myself. And so
yeah,
it was cool. I could sell houses, do this and stuff like that and grind. But I say all of that, when I seen the value of real estate and I seen the impact it could have and what it wasn't having and the impact that it wasn't having on my community, on my people, I'm like, okay, how can I bring resources to the community in a fun way? And so
sure.
in 2021, that's when I started the block party. We gonna have basketball, we gonna have bouncy house, we gonna have food, we gonna have music, we gonna have all the bells and whistles, but also we gonna have lenders there, we gonna have real estate agents there, we gonna have community organizations there, we gonna have people there handing out information right to the hood, right to the block. So you ain't gotta go into an uncomfortable situation. Like it's uncomfortable for some black people to walk into the bank. It's uncomfortable for some people to say, yo, I want to do this because we don't come from that. We ain't having these conversations as kids. But if we meet at the park and there's somebody there saying, hey, give me a call, hey, this is that, and making it, tailoring the process so it's a little bit easier, that's where I wanted. And that was always the vision for it. Like, yo, how can I make this comfortable for the people who need it the most? And then here we are. We going on year 5.
Man, shout out to you, bro. That's amazing, bro, that you decided to, give back to your community first and foremost, and not only just give back by just throwing a block party, you providing resources to help people that was once like you know what I mean, or whatever, like, because I feel like real estate is one of the best avenues, if not the best avenue of making your own money. And bro, because I've been doing real estate since 2021, just wholesaling land, and that's something I haven't spoke about, but just me and my brother been doing that. My brother is a land developer and in Nash County, and so just seeing him go from having his first property in Durham while I was in college, I was able to see the whole process. I was able to see him, acquire the property, get a loan, acquire the property. I was also able to see him, renovate it. I had to help him, fix the floors and all that. Add add in new washing machine and dryer, like clean everything down, bruh. So that's what's up. And what was your first property?
So my first property was a 4 unit actually. I bought it
Okay.
with a FHA loan. That's like a loan for people, first time home buyers and things, and you can use it for a single family up to 4 units. And it was just me. And so I had hustled, I had a little money saved or whatever. And it's also 3.5% down. So it's less than the standard 10, 15, 20. So it's a little nugget for people out there.
For
And
sure.
I lived in one of the units and I rented the other three out. And for a long time, the other three people didn't even know I was the landlord because I was so young and I didn't want them
Yeah.
to know. And it
Yeah.
was cool, bro, because I was able to build equity, but I was also able to live uh, expense free. So a lot of people with biggest expenses they mortgage or they rent, and so it was the underplay for the overplay. The overplay is, you get the equity and all of that stuff. But think about how fast I was able to grow and how fast I was able to save when every month all my money, only thing I'm paying is a $100 phone bill. So I always
Yeah.
tell people you got to think about it in that, there's tiers of benefits to real estate. One is the cash flow. Okay, you cash flow and you bringing in whatever you bring in from your rental properties. But two, I'm a simple guy, so I kept my expenses low. So for 2 years, you got 24 months of just stacking.
Yeah.
I'm still doing real estate. Now I got a job that I'm getting 2 checks a month, whatever, W-2 salary employee, selling houses on the side. I got rental income coming in, and it's like I was able to buy an 8 unit after that. And then after that, it was just like I don't have to work no more.
Bro. Man, that's amazing, bro. Starting off with a fourplex and then working your way to an eight. Bro, can you talk about, I know you said you had to get an FHA loan.
Mhm.
Can you talk about the process that you had to go through? Like, did you have to renovate it and everything?
So I actually bought a turnkey property.
Okay.
The process was I had to, you got to have a paper trail. So I showed them. You actually usually got to have 2 years of taxes. I had to write a letter of explanation saying, hey, last year I was in college and I had to submit my transcripts and they accepted that. So they waived the requirement. And I showed them that I was working. I showed them my bank account and, I got pre-approved and qualified for the loan. But when I bought it, I did do work to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I was able to increase the rents. Like when I bought it, it wasn't terrible. It was livable. People was living in it. But as people moved out, new appliances, carpeted the rooms, new floors, new paint, just making it a little bit more home. Because one, I was like, my philosophy was like, if I ain't gonna live in it, then ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? I want to have it to the standard that I would live in. So
For
the
sure.
unit that I had bought was already vacant, because I needed a unit to live in. That's how you get the FHA loan is you have to show them, one of the units got to be vacant. So I immediately renovated that one. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm in there. And then I just replicated it as people moved out. And as I had turnover, I made all the units look like mine. And we went from when I bought it, the rent was like 700 a unit. Now they 1,300 a unit. And that's where the cash flow changes because that increase, that $600 increase per unit, but the mortgage, the payment still the same as it was when I bought it in 21.
Bro, man, hey, y'all gotta listen, bro.
Free
This is
game.
gems, bro. This
That's
is
free
gems for
game.
real. You gotta get your first play. Man, so how many properties do you have now?
So I have 2 4 units. I have two duplexes. In the duplexes, they're like townhouse style units. So they're like 3 beds, 2 bath, 1,600 square feet. They got attached garages. They tri-level, so it's a basement, mid-level, and the top level. So those are pretty big. Those are pretty nice units for like families. And so that's how many I have. I got um, but then I got into development. So now this is how once you get into the real estate game, you kind of stack it. So because I was cool with the cash flow and stuff, I was in a comfortable spot with my rental properties. I was able to quit my job start working for myself. Now we getting ready to break ground on a 44 unit apartment complex in Madison, and like that's my project, that's my property. Like I got the land from the city, found the money, working with the contractor. It's been like a 2-year process. We getting ready to break ground in May, so I'm gonna have, by the end, and I got another one that's 65 units that I'm co-developing. So like by the end of this year, I have over 100 doors. We'll have some apartment complexes in the portfolio, and it's just a good time, bro, to kind of to be where I've been, because it was a journey. You know what I'm saying? And I when I turned down those offers, when the world opened back up, I didn't know if it was the right decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, am I quitting too early? Am I doing this and that? But to see how it all played out and where we at now, it's all God, bro. It's God's plan. Like I was meant to do this, and then the impact I've been able to have on people's lives, like helping Black people get in. I managed a nonprofit first time home buyers program, so trying to help over 30 families get their first house, and so just the impact within the industry. When I say I love it, bro, I love it, because I love seeing people say, "Yo, I ain't think I could do this," and I'm the first person in my family to ever own anything. I'm like inviting me to house, cookouts and all that stuff. Like, it's a different feeling, bro. It's different from the money and all of that. It's like it's an internal benefit when you help somebody in that way, and you know that they family gonna benefit from it for generations to come.
Bro, shout out to you, man, because that's what it's about, bro. You know, doing, not only are you in a situation to help your own family, you have put other families into homes, bro. And that's an incredible feeling, because I know growing up, like I grew up in an apartment, small apartment, you get what I'm saying? And I didn't know anything about real estate. I didn't grow up around any adults that was doing real estate. And, people like you could have helped us out, when I was a kid, bro. And just hearing you say that, man, you have a nonprofit, bro. I want to shout out to you, bro, for being that light in your community, bro. That's huge.
Say that, bro. For real. That's love. That's my motto. That's my motto. Like, I'm a proponent of doing good while doing good. You don't
Yeah,
have to. Ain't no shame in that. Like, I ain't one of the people who believe you have to be struggling to do good and help your community. No, do good. Enjoy your future. It's abundance out here. Do good. Live the way you want to live. And then help others do that too. If that's your passion, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, definitely, bro. And I'm gonna let you get this time, bro, to plug in your nonprofit in the name of your corporations or your
Yeah, so
business.
my
Yeah,
business is Imminent Development Corporation. You can find us at www.imminentdc.com. That's the developments that we're doing,
yeah,
putting people in affordable housing and things like that, income eligible families and things like that, helping them in a market where the rents are soaring high, and people aren't able to keep up with it. So we're proud of the work we're doing. The nonprofit I work with is actually a family nonprofit. My mother started Foster Dane County, and that's where we do a lot of rental assist. From a plethora of things: rental assistance, backpack giveaways, food baskets in the holidays. We just do a lot of stuff throughout the year through that, and it's a beautiful thing. And we've been doing stuff like that. Well, she's been doing stuff like that since I was a kid, and I think um, I know that's kind of where my heart for giving back came from. Just being around my mom, seeing her help people, and while we didn't even have it, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't even have it, and she was helping people because that was her job, and that was her mission. And so now, being in a better spot, being in a better place for my family, it's like now we really can 10x it. You know what I'm saying? So those are two
yeah,
organizations: Eminent Development Corporation, Foster Dane County. And that's just how we rocking right now.
yeah. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all definitely gotta check them out, man, and support, bro. Cause what I call you Jew, but what
Yeah.
Jew doing, like, is definitely amazing, man. Y'all definitely check that out. And if you're in the Wisconsin area, close to Madison, bro, definitely check out what he has in store. And I know you mentioned, I seen an article, um, bro. Because when I was doing research on this, on what to ask, bro, I typed in your name, bro. You got a list of articles, bro, and I'm like, that is crazy. Like, well, you Googleable, boy. But nah, you lit, man, because you was listed in this article for In Business
Yeah.
for 40 under 40 that lists the most successful and civic minded young professionals, bro. Like, man, that's that's crazy. For real. Like,
Yeah.
shout out to you, bro. Like, how'd you feel when you got listed on there?
Man, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You just you grind, and like it's not that you don't want it, but like you ain't worried about who's seeing it. You like you don't know if anybody see you kind of just grinding. So when you get um listed on something like that, it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? People, people really is taking notice to kind of like what I got going on. And it was cool, bro. And then to kind of bring it back home to how we met, it's like, we didn't got awards and won rings and stuff like that athletically. But when you
Mm,
pivot into a more professional realm, to have that same kind of success or some sort of success where people, that's a good, but that was a good feeling. Like I remember telling my mom, like, I don't think I wasn't a great high school student. But I was like,
yeah,
I don't remember me getting any type of acknowledgement or accolades outside of sports. So now that I'm doing this as a businessman under my own business, you know, that felt good. That felt real good.
sure, bro. Yeah, yeah, bro. Hats off to you, bro. Bro. That's crazy, bro. I'm Googling. It's like, now I gotta go to the second page before something else come on, bro. I was like, like, nah, that's dope, bro. So before we get into another section, what does it take to get into commercial real estate if someone's looking to get started?
I would say the first thing is establishing an LLC. You know what I'm saying? And you can do that pretty easily. It's not as hard as people think. Get you an EIN and then go register with your Department of Services, whatever state you're in, and then go open up a bank account. And even if you're not doing no business yet, you need to establish your entity so that when you are getting ready to go after something, a loan, a project, a property, you have history. You have some sort of relationship. You have some sort of history. That would be the first thing, and that's more logistical. The second thing I would say is go for it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that sounds funny, but it's like the second thing you need to do to get started in commercial real estate is to go for it. A lot of people sit around and think about what they don't have or their qualifications and things like that. But really, the best way to learn and the best way to get involved is just to go for it. So those would be my top two things. And then everything else is going, oh, well, the last thing, third thing, if I had to give three, would be network. Go to
For sure.
different commercial real estate outbreaks and find the groups in your area and just see how people are working. And it might take a while for you to actually get something yourself, but just meeting people, letting them know that you're interested, asking them for lunch, paying, you know what I'm saying, just setting yourself apart, being proactive. That's what it's about. Before I had any of this motion or anything I had going on, I was doing all types of stuff, emailing people like
Yeah.
you did, Mike, Googling names, uh, sending LinkedIn requests, and just putting myself out there, going to different real estate meetups, mine networking events, and just at first I had just a little printout card, a little cheap one too. You know what I'm saying? Like just something that said my name, my business, whatever, and just before I got to where I am right now, and I still got a long ways to go. But before I even got to this point where I was acting like I was already here. I was putting the steps in progress. And so that's what I would say people need to hear and try to do, establish the entity, whether or not you're doing business or not, just to get it established. And that's all
Yeah.
you need to do to open up a business bank account. And that's also how you end up getting business credit, but I don't want to get too deep into that. But that going for it is believing yourself, not talking yourself out of it or having imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
just going for it. And three, networking with the local people in your area, whether it be going to an event or just doing your research and finding out who the local players are and asking them for lunch and putting yourself out there. Don't be afraid to get no's. You don't get a lot of no's. I got a lot of no's. Still get more no's today than yeses, but all you need is a couple yeses until you get, multi-million-dollar projects under your belt.
Yeah, man. you gotta have a great network of people. You know what I mean? Like it's about who you know and mixed in with what you know. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
Because you wanna provide mutual benefit on your end as well.
Facts.
But yeah, man, that's a great gem, bro. Being able to build your network, man. But we gonna get into the Fast Five. So the Fast Five is you have 1 minute to answer all five questions.
Cool.
You know, you know what I mean? You used to beating the shot clock, can you beat the Fast Five, bro?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Drake, you want to do the Fast Five and I get the timer, or what you want?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. We can do that.
All right. I'll I'll get my timer ready.
I was about to say, Julian, you might wanna grab a timer on your end also and
Because I
start
was
that
so
joint
for
when
to
we
say
say
like,
go.
let me set it too.
Let me see. All right. Let
All
me
right,
know when you're
hold on.
ready.
Let me get my minutes straight. Nah,
All
sorry.
right.
Let me get my minutes straight. Count down and let's do it.
Yeah.
All right,
Y'all
I'm
ready?
ready. Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
What's your favorite album?
My favorite album is the it's a mixtape, Soap Take 2 by Fabulous.
Shout out.
Got you.
That's a great mixtape.
Who inspires you the most?
My mother and Kobe Bryant. My mother been my biggest inspiration. She did a lot. 7 of us, single mom, put us on her back.
Right.
Got me where I am.
Who are the top three best basketball players ever?
Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, in that order.
What's the best real estate investment for beginners who are going? Yeah, what's the best real estate investment for
FHA. If you
beginners?
single, get an FHA loan and get you a duplex or a fourplex. Don't buy a single family house.
Facts. Who's going to win the NCAA tournament?
I got Duke. I like Cooper Flag. I got Duke.
And actually, what's
You
next
beat it.
for you? Yeah, I'm about
Ha,
to say he definitely
Right,
beat
you
that.
beat it. You beat it, bro.
let's
Okay.
do
Yeah, you beat it, bro. Okay. Let's
Well, you
go.
think you think Cooper Flag coming back for the tournament?
Hey, Cooper gonna end up coming back, but you know what? What made me a believer out of them when he was down in the ACC tournament and they still did what they did. I'm like, okay, cool. Cause I like Khan. I like Khan. They got enough, bro. They got enough. And if he come back, it's really gonna be Curtis.
Yeah, for sure, for
I
sure.
He played last game.
Yeah, he back. They know how to win without him though.
Yeah, for sure. It hurts me to say this, bro, but I can't even say but me and Drake was just talking about this yesterday, man. It made me sick to my stomach. But hey, they represent for North Carolina really well.
Uh,
The
and I
other,
think
yeah,
y'all North Carolina fans.
yeah,
No.
UNC fan. He
Bro,
out of state fan.
I told this man, like, I'm a Kentucky fan, bro. Like, we hands down probably got the best program of all time, for real.
And Kentucky, they lost to Arkansas yesterday, didn't it?
Yeah,
Wow.
sure did.
Yeah. I knew they was going. I ain't know that. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't. So I was just looking at my phone. I don't want to, throw off the podcast and nothing like that. I don't want to
No,
get
no.
nobody
Good.
no bad advice. But I sports bet, so I was just looking
Okay.
at my what's the name, and I stayed away from Arkansas, Kentucky yesterday because I ain't know which way it was gonna go. I'm like,
I was looking at the points that they allow from their opponents,
mhm.
and it was too close. It was too close to call. It was too 50-50, so I really ain't know who was gonna win that game either.
Me neither, bro. I honestly, if I had to, I mean, the way that they were playing this year, like if I had to choose, I would have chose. If I had to bet, I would have chose Kentucky over Arkansas. But that's why I just stayed away from it. Because to your point, Drake, I'm like, man, it's too close to call.
Yeah, man. So y'all think Calipari gonna lead Arkansas to the success he had in Kentucky?
I don't know, bro. Like he kind of even his last years at Kentucky, he kind of fell off. But
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
bro.
But he definitely a great coach. He a top coach. So he ain't no telling what he can do. He always gonna go get some top players. So like he might, you know what I'm saying? You can never count Coach Cal out. He one of my favorite coaches. I like how he coach.
He like a Greg Popovich for real, for real. Like if you think about it, like he gonna be solid. He know
Yeah.
what he doing. He might not just have all the pieces to do what he used to do, but
Facts.
he definitely know what he doing.
That's a great comparison. Facts.
Yeah. I just feel like the NIL has kind of, if I can say this correct, I feel like, for lack of a better word, it kind of messed up kind of like the premier coaches
Yeah.
because Cal was used to turning high school prodigy. You gonna be there one and done, but he was the ship to the NBA.
Yeah.
Now
Mhm.
with the NIL, most programs that are going to succeed are going to have older players or who are used to, the bright lights, used to the NCAA tournament. Like high schoolers are going to have a tough break. But if that's still the route he wants to go, I feel like, you know, recruits should still try to choose Coach Cal if that's his coaching style still, because I know a lot of people just gonna choose the bad, which I don't blame them
Yeah.
to take advantage of it. I know. I mean,
Yeah, because a lot of people are setting themselves up at an early age to have some bread, and you
Yeah.
don't really get
oh
that
yeah,
chance a
Yeah.
lot. Like you don't, bro.
And and to that NIL point, you got people like Cooper Flag, who the projected #1 pick. He talking about coming back. Like, what I got to rush to the league for? I'm getting
yeah,
five. I
exactly.
could go. I could stay at Duke and enjoy college basketball and win and make $4 million, $5 million a year.
Yeah,
Like, ain't
And
no
which
y'all
I
rush.
still gonna take me.
And they still
yeah
gonna take me when I come out.
yeah
Like college basketball is more like I watch college basketball more than I watch the league now. So it's like
okay
if I could stay in college and make my 4-5 million and be the face of college basketball, I'd do it too.
yeah
Yeah.
I would too. Yeah,
And
I
then
would.
they'll like you more because you're more experienced. So it's like
Right.
it's a win-win on both sides
Yeah, I
at
feel
that
like
level.
yeah, I feel like the NBA needs to add in high schools can come straight out of they can come straight out of high school to the draft because it's gonna be tough for the high school recruits who aren't heavily recruited because they might have to look into smaller programs.
Mm.
Because I know what's the coach for St. John's? Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
He said he's not going to even look to
Through high
recruit
school.
high
Yeah.
schools. So I feel like the NBA needs to allow people to go straight out of high school, so that way people can enjoy college and take advantage of the NIL system.
But look though, let me combat that. Let me give you the other side of that because I think that you could do that, but it's also a way you could set yourself up now, and people are doing that. So like people, you could transfer and play right away now. That wasn't a rule. So if you a high
Oh,
school
yeah,
kid,
facts.
let's say you go to let's just talk in real terms and use real examples. Let's say Coach Moten give you an offer. You
Yeah,
could go to Central and kill for 2 years, enter the portal, and go from Central to NC State or from Central to St. John's. Like there,
yeah,
that's what he's saying. Like we going to get older kids. Like we can go get the MEAC Player of the Year and turn them up. It was a dude who went to Howard when we was there. We played against him the next year. He was at UConn.
yeah.
So
That's
people are starting to use the smaller schools, the smaller offers as like a launching board to
for
like a
sure.
Power Five conference or something like that. You see that a lot.
For sure. I didn't even think about it like that. That does make sense because I know they even getting the community college players are able to get 4 years after transferring.
Right. Right.
Man,
So that everybody gonna be older now. Like I tell a high
yeah,
school player right now, and this is a guy who went JUCO before you could do all of that. My 2 years at JUCO counted towards my 2 years, bruh. If my
yeah,
2 years, the 2 years I had at JUCO, if I would have got recruited as a sophomore and they knew I would have had 4 years left, bro, I would have went to Duke.
yeah,
Like my numbers was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we
yeah,
get him at this age, we get him at 20.
yeah,
And we get 4 years with him, and he already like been, and he about to be a 21-year-old freshman. We get him for 4 years. He gonna be a 25-year-old. Oh, he's gonna we're gonna win a ring. He's gonna be a part of a ring. And so college basketball, I don't even think we've seen the brunt of it yet. Like we're about to see a whole lot of change over the next couple of years because, like you said, them junior college players, you can go JUCO for 2 years and then come have 4 years at a D1, D2. So like it's about to be a whole lot of older players now. Like how it was that COVID year, you had older players because of the COVID year, but now it's about to be a norm where you are watching March Madness and it's a senior out there who's 25, maybe 26.
Yeah, they my age, still in college. You know what I mean?
Man,
I'm about to be 26, and this players is still in the tournament right now. I'm like,
bro,
man,
this player's a couple years older than you. You 25,
yeah,
somebody 27 in the I saw the oldest player in the tournament. Damn, how you do that? He got hurt a couple times, sat out, got the
yeah,
COVID year. Like, you should be married with some kids.
yeah. It probably is, bro. He
Real
always,
talk though.
yeah,
Real talk. There was a couple players married on there. I'm like, yeah.
yeah. Well, they got a family. They set. He getting his degree still. Like,
Look,
yeah,
NIL change. Yeah.
yeah. Like, he's straight out.
No
Yeah,
bullshit. I'm 30 now. If I had the talent, I'd do it. Like, I'd be
Man,
ready to
what?
go.
Oh God, I'm 30 now. If I could go back, I'd do it. Oh, fact.
yeah. I mean, I'm 25. I ain't played. Hey,
Yeah, you still got your eligibility, man. Go
Yeah,
crazy.
you still got all 4 years. Me too.
I got championship experience. You
Man,
feel
stop playing with him. Just hey,
me?
oh
Yeah,
my God, go get your eligibility in, man.
sir. But nah, man. So we was able to talk a lot of points about you real estate and you having your nonprofit with your mom, and so what's next for you?
Really, bro. What's next for me is uh, watching the seeds that I planted. So, I'm one of those
Yeah,
guys who I'm very ambitious, but I've also learned recently that I need to kind of not overwhelm myself because I always go, go, go. So I really want to foster the stuff that we've done, make that better, continue to do
yeah,
developments, continue to, make it an efficient process to give back to the community. And once I get a good grasp on that, I'm going into franchises. I like
okay.
wing stops, so I want to open a couple wing stops. Culvers, I don't think y'all got Culvers on the East Coast, but Culvers. So
Uh,
I'm in the
yeah, we do.
process of
We got a Culver's.
y'all got a
Yeah,
Culvers.
I was
Yeah,
thinking, yeah,
that
we
Culvers
got Kobe.
originated in Wisconsin, so I'm in the process
Okay,
of trying to get me a franchise license and opening up one of those, and just find other ways to invest, man. Find other avenues to create passive income, build wealth, and things of that nature. Eventually, I want to open up me a little lounge, a little kicking spot for people,
for
like a
sure.
supper club, membership only type deal. So I got some ideas that
So,
I'm working on the next 5 years.
man, yeah, hopefully, bro, you can expand your projects to North Carolina, bro. And I'd love to see that, especially where we from, bro.
Yeah,
It's Rocky Mountain is growing exponentially. Like in the past, I want to say even 10 years, but especially the last 5 years, bro. Rocky Mountain is on the rise, bro. So you definitely
yeah,
got to chop it up about that.
for sure, bro. I would love to do it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Like if it's land, it's opportunity.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. And so where
And they
can
definitely got the land for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
hey, we got the land. Hey,
yeah.
y'all got the land.
We got the
For
Y'all got
if
the
they got the
land.
land, we got the talent, we got the opportunity. So let's put it all
yeah,
together.
for sure, bro. Yeah, yeah. Y'all hit me up for the land.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Fact.
So, but where can the viewers find you at home? I know you're on a lot of avenues.
Mhm. They could find me my Instagram handle only one Jew underscore underscore. And from there you can kind of find all my other pages. You'll see the Eminent Development Corporation Instagram, which we building up. And some of the other things, the website to the company is www.eminentdc.com. You can see a lot of cool stuff that we got on block party information on there. And then on Facebook, actually on Instagram and Facebook, you could just search Juju's Block Party and you can find the cool stuff we do in the city. And if you around the neighborhood, if you around Madison, August 16th, come out. Y'all gonna have to come out one year, man, and see what it's like
Yeah,
in the Midwest, man. See how we get down,
so
how we play. I didn't see how y'all play. Y'all gotta come see how I play, man. It's
yeah,
a whole weekend thing, so it ain't just I'm coming out there for it. Nah, it's an after party, it's a brunch, it's a dinner, it's
yeah.
all that. So come kick it.
So Man, I'd love to come up there, bro. August 16th, man. I'm gonna have to see what I'm doing, bro. I'd love to pull up, bro.
That'll be love for sure. And it's every
I
year.
see.
So if it ain't this year, next year is the second week of August. So I don't know what date that is yet, but we've been going with the second week of August. This year it's the third week because it's a 5 week month, but
Okay.
we out here.
For sure, bro. I'm definitely gonna hit you up about that, bro. I'd love to see. I never been Midwest. I just been West, like West Coast. I've been Vegas. I've been to Cali. Drove drove to Vegas actually from here. So
Whoa.
yeah, yeah. Well, I drove. That was like a 4 day thing, 8 hours a day. I drove. Me and my brother. We drove to Vegas, bro. But yeah, I'd love to come out there, bro.
Already, we're gonna put it in motion one day.
Man, appreciate you for being on here, bro. Like, man, just seeing everything, seeing how much you've done since I last seen you at Central, bro, is crazy, bro. You have a lot of projects in store, man, and I'm happy to see it, bro. It's like what you doing for your community, bro, is life changing for those families, bro. So definitely shout out to you, man.
Say it, man. I appreciate you, man. I'm proud of you too, doing your thing, walking in your light, man. Starting the podcast, Drake. It was
Yeah,
great to meet you, bro. I appreciate y'all having me, man. It's all love, man. I plan on being out at NC
yeah,
soon, man. For a couple reasons, but we definitely gotta tap in, bro. It's
yeah,
love.
Well, let
for
us know,
sure, bro.
bro. We'll
Yeah,
definitely pull up, bro. We pull up
yeah,
on
For sure.
everybody.
for sure, bro. We had to get you back, bro. We had to do a live podcast,
Yeah,
bro.
that'd be
Yeah,
dope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
for sure,
sure.
bro. Yeah,
yeah.
man. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Remember, it's all love, and we out.
Yeah.
All right.
uh,
Yes, sir.